In less than 24 hours, this tiny coastal village in Cornwall will host some of the world's biggest political names, among them South Africa's President Ramaphosa.
I think it's generally understood and appreciated that South Africa, through this pandemic, has done an extraordinary amount of work, research, collaborations in order to try and be part of the conversation that speaks to weakening the virus. So I think it's for reasons like that Prime Minister Johnson felt that we had a place at the table.
Unsurprisingly, security is tight. Roadblocks are in place to shield Carbis Bay from wandering eyes and feet, with 6,500 police and staff involved in the operation on land, and Royal Navy patrol ships watching from the sea. This is an opportunity for private discussions to take place on the world's most pressing issues. And with economic recovery from the pandemic high on the agenda, experts say it's no accident South Africa has been asked to join them.
You know, South Korea, Japan, they're also joining. I think Prime Minister Johnson sees these countries as like-minded and really wants to get them on board with the agenda being promoted. It can't just be the G7 countries. It needs to expand further, and South Africa really does represent an anchor in Africa in many ways. And so I think that getting these countries on board really will help push forward the agenda that they're trying to set.
With coronavirus cases rising once again in areas including the UK and parts of Southeast Asia, health experts say the G7 and guest nations meeting here will need to galvanise progress made so far.
This could go on still for some time. We're going to need new and possibly evolved vaccines as we go forward. So we need to start building those capacities now in sub-Saharan Africa, parts of the Middle East, parts of South Asia in particular. So all of those are going to be required, which means the G7 sharing not just money, not just vaccines, but also technical know-how and knowledge.
US President Joe Biden has already announced a commitment to sharing 500 million doses with 100 countries over the next 2 years. But could more promises be coming? There have been repeated calls from South Africa and India, both guest nations at this year's G7 summit, for intellectual property rights on vaccinations to be waived. The nations say it would allow those countries that currently have little access to doses to manufacture them more easily and allow a greater proportion of the global population to be immunised more quickly. With many G7 nations well ahead when it comes to vaccination programmes, they could face pressure to do more. Laura Makin-Isherwood, SABC News, London.